Okay, we're back. Great job, Gru. Great job. Awesome. Awesome. I hate this computer. I actively hate this computer. I'm pretty sure everyone's gone. Which is awesome. That's awesome. Love to see that. Lost my entire audience. That's great. Oh, Atlas, you're back. Okay. I'm gonna keep going like nothing happened. Last time you guys left off, okay, here's what's gonna happen. My PC is such a fucking dinosaur. Oh, you can hear my, I just realized you can hear my, sorry. You can hear my stream. My PC is such a fucking dinosaur. If I try to run anything at the same time as anything else, blows up. Nothing works. So, I'm just going to keep it to no music, sadly. You're just gonna hear me rabble off. I'm not gonna change tabs. I'm not gonna touch anything. I'm just gonna hope this works. I just want this to work. Why is this harder than running a video game? Why is this harder than running a video game? I'm reading a script. Oh boy. Hey Carrot, how you doing? You joined at a very interesting time. Alright, so back to what I was saying. I don't even need these anymore. I'm not listening to anything. Back to what I was saying. Now you can see my luscious locks in my hair that I need to wash. God, what was the last thing you heard? Right. Irrelevant the second the series is finished. I do not like videos that do not have a reason to exist after something has happened or completed. That feels like junk to me. It feels like something just to clunk up the algorithm. I get a really bad vibes of that. Got to set up MP3 dealies later, my guy. I really got it. Hold that thought. This might fuck up. It might not. Let's try this. Okay. Give me a second. 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 Give me one more second. Give me a few more seconds. Give me another second. Give me another second. Yeah. The Goose, I heard about that. I feel so bad for Goose. That's terrible. It's also just another example of how this fandom can be. Some of them are children, and people act so immaturely, and it pisses me off. But on a lighter note, we got music working, buddy. Hey, I edit on this PC, which means I've got all the music that I use for videos, which don't give me copyright strikes. So right now you're going to be hearing the game theory theme, which is fitting because we're reading game theory. Okay, so I have a big issue with those types of videos that are just kind of made to pop stuff out and don't really have any substance to me. They feel cheap and they feel like they're just made for an algorithm and to make content. And I do sympathize with a lot of creators because that is their job and they've kind of turned themselves into this is how they make money and they need to survive. And I'm definitely empathetic about that, but it's definitely affected how people see these shows and a lot of stuff, and a lot of it isn't. Oh fuck yeah! Wow, I gotta say, I have a lot of opinions about game theory, but that theme fucks. He was cooking. God, I need a theme song. This isn't how a lot of game theory videos are designed. Most were the Is Mario. Okay, here's what this cut out before you guys be able to hear it. The Is Mario a communist bit? I wrote that the same way I said it in the video. Is Mario a communist? I knew that's how I was going to say it in the video. Because this was, I think, one of my first game theory videos as a kid. And it always was such a funny video to me. Because it was like the first time I found out what a communist was. And it just always stuck out by how much of a reach it was. But also, like, as a kid, I think even as a kid, I was intelligent enough to be like, yeah, but this is just for fun. Mario's not really a communist. Because, again, I watched a lot of Cracked, and Cracked was that stuff, you know. And game theory did a lot of that stuff. I'd be like, what if it's this? But game theory started to get worse once they started to be like, no, this is actually what it is, and we're going to tell you the truth. And it's like, oh, when you're doing that, a lot of the fun comes out. Peter about to blow, call him Gruenheimer. Yeah, dude, I'm in the food theory theme. It's actually good. I've never heard the food theory theme. So, okay. Now that we've done, this is my first draft, and the first draft is not that dissimilar for my final draft. I don't even know if this is my first specific class. Oh, there's an ad going on. I'm gonna be honest with you guys right now. Ooh, game 3 music ended. Good. In fact, you know what? Let's find some more thematic music. Let's find something kind of dark, kind of fucked up. Yeah, let's get the Portal soundtrack. Yeah. No, that's too calm and cute. Not what I wanted. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Cradle of Learning makes some great movie and TV shows. Yes, okay. That's it. I saw that. I saw your comment on that. I'm not sure if stream cut out before I said this. I want to check that channel out. I will be checking it out. I'll screenshot my phone again. I'll definitely be checking them out. I'll listen. Atlas, if you got a suggestion, I'm taking it. We'll listen to the theory theme later, all right? Maybe. But let me just talk about, like, my opinion on game theory changed a lot after making this video. When I was writing the script, I wrote it from a very nostalgic standpoint of game theory, of like, oh, I remember game theory. I remember being a kid. Oh, it was so fun. And then when I was editing the video, I had to rewatch game theory videos, you know, to remind myself and to find footage. If I wrote the video now, I would be way meaner to matpat. I would be so much meaner to game theory. Because the videos that I watched as a child, I watch now as an adult, and I'm like, oh my god. A, what is he talking about? B, this is the most 2011 gamer-fueled video. Derogatory. Like, mild just sexism, mild like racism, mild like just... there is a thumbnail for his Comic-Con video that feels like not even thinly transphobic. It just feels transphobic. And I know matpat has changed a lot since then. I know that's not who he is now. But who he was back then, my fucking god, I could not handle it. I could not handle it. Those videos are so annoying. And especially, with some friends, I watched the who has the biggest boobs in gaming video that matpat made. And I just sit there and wonder, oh my god, how was this on YouTube? And B, this is just as bad as the top 10 hottest Sonic characters. It is. It's just as bad. It's so weird. He starts talking about implants and says, here's how you know a good boobie from a bad boobie from a fakie. And it's like, what? You're a theater kid, Matt. Matt, you're in Othello. You're in Romeo and Juliet. You can't be going like, boys, well, do you know about boobies? How about we'll talk about some real boobies over here. Shut the fuck up, Matt. Matt, shut up. Matthew, stop talking. Stop talking. Stop it. I started watching his videos, started watching some of his FNAF stuff, and I just sat there like, oh my god, he's not saying anything. He does 11-minute videos where he's not really saying anything interesting. Some of them are more interesting than others. Some of them are educational. Others, kind of gross. Others make no sense. Others, it feels like he was just running to make a video. I rewatched the Sans' Nest theory. I think he got way too much hate for that video. He got death threats. That's terrible. That's disgusting. I hate that people do that. Do Undertale fans not even play their game? But my god, that's not me defending the video. Because the video was so bad. It doesn't make sense in lore. No, replay that song. That song's way too fitting with my crash out. It does not make sense in lore that he actively ignored for Sans to be Ness. It doesn't. And it doesn't feel like a fun theory either of like, haha, this would be a fun idea. Because then someone in my comments said like Matt considered a lot of his theories, like he only made theories that he believed. And I'm like, well, I don't believe that you believe that. And I know Earthbound means a lot to matpat. He said it in that video, but there was just so many contradictions that you could easily point out. I think even I pointed out as a kid, but even now as an adult, I look at it and I'm like, he has a soul. He has a monster soul, which means he is a monster. Matt, there's so many little things that just crack your theory wide open. None of this makes sense. What are you talking about, Matt? What are you talking about? And now now I think matpat is the reason why I blame Scott Cawthon as well, because I talked about this with friends. I think game theory. This is the part where like I didn't want to put this in a video because it feels a little mean-spirited, but like I can't not talk about it. Five Nights at Freddy's, which I loved as a kid. Mat plants, that's hilarious. Matpat implants, mat plants. That's really funny. What did you just walk into? A conspiracy, Dormant, a conspiracy. Also, some newer game theory just kind of has a bit of the same essence as the Minecraft theories. They present that the new ones do, but it's... Yeah, I always like the Minecraft theories. I always remember liking where they were like, oh, what is the creeper? Is it a plant? What would that be? That's interesting. But Five Nights at Freddy's, which I was the target demographic when that came out. That came out 10 years ago, 2015. I was 14, 15 when Five Nights at Freddy's came out. That's my age right there. Now you know my age. That hit me the perfect time. And I think a lot of people, I think there are a lot of games now and a lot of things that think they can get away with like a heavily flawed storyline as long as matpat makes a theory about it. Because so much of FNAF, as a kid I noticed this too, it felt like, oh, is Matt doing all the heavy lifting and Scott Cawthon's doing nothing? And as an adult, I'm like, no, Matt's not even doing any heavy lifting, because some of these theories are really stupid. Like, some of these theories also don't really make any sense. And it's this frustration of, I think those theories and that game has conditioned people to think that every writer that writes like a modern story and that is like a young creator, like gooseworx, who's like, Goose just turned 30 recently. Oh, so many people think creators like that are stupid like Scott. Not even that they think they're like, oh, they're stupid, but like, oh, they're used to Scott Cawthon's writing. And Scott Cawthon's writing doesn't give you anything unless you really dig deep. And then some of it is lost in like children's books and coloring books and like some of it was really cool. I loved the website. The website was so cool as a kid. And even now as an adult, that's such a fun and cool idea to have a website that's just one page that updates every week to like hint at a game. And it's incredible that Five Nights at Freddy's was able to be released like 3 or 4 in like the span of a year. That's insane. But they're also like not very dense. And they get worse and worse as they came out. Not worse and worse. I think 3 was the peak, and then from 3 it started to get worse and worse. And I think so many people are used to this idea that Scott Cawthon would just do like shock stuff and shock. Oh, and the creator of Freddy Fazbear's had a daughter. The daughter's dead, and purple guy killed the daughter, and you're purple guy. No, there's 2 purple guys. Why? Thematically. Why, Scott? What story are you trying to tell? Are you just trying to make us go, whoa, I didn't see that coming? It reminds me of Game of Thrones, where they changed the theory and they changed the story because people guessed it. And they're like, well, we gotta surprise people. No, you don't. You just wrote a good narrative that people were able to predict because you made all the points lead into something that makes sense, and then you changed it at last minutes because you were insecure. And that's my issues with matpat and game theory and Scott Cawthon, and how I think a lot of that culture has made people think that digital circus is that digital circus is like going to have like a real, I talk about it in the video, a really cheap undercut. Undercut. I didn't say that word. Oh boy, a really cheap undercut of like, oh, but what if also there was an exit and now they have to like, and it's got like, it's just edgy for edginess sake. It doesn't add anything to the story. It's getting a little Hello Neighbor in here. It's getting a little Hello Neighbor in there. Goose, I think Goose has written a show that thematically reminds me a lot of BoJack Horseman, and maturity-wise is also very similar to BoJack, because the characters are incredibly three-dimensional, and I don't think a lot of people were ready. I don't want to sound like, I was an intelligent kid and I watched BoJack Horseman as a teenager, but I think BoJack was the first show that prepared me for the idea of like flawed protagonists, and this idea that like, oh, like, they're not just going to do stuff for edginess sake, there's going to be a reason for it, but also stuff's going to happen, and it's going to be stuff that you're not going to like to see. And Digital Circus, I think, is a lot of people's first introduction to that, because they're used to FNAF, and they're used to other stuff, and they're used to Poppy's Playtime, which I have a lot of negative feelings towards Poppy's Playtime. And I just think it left a really bad stain on internet fandoms. I was talking to a friend, and they think Gravity Falls did a similar effect. The issue is, I think Gravity Falls is a perfect show. and did the mystery in a really cool way, where it's like, oh, like, who's the creator of Gravity Falls? I can't remember. He's always lying, like he's lying back and forth, and you can't really trust what he's saying. There were ARGs. He introduced this idea of an ARG in a TV show. Maybe not introduced, I don't know, maybe other shows did it beforehand. But like, he really made this first like animated show that people really engaged with. Alex Search, thank you. That like, I was a Gaijin Goober enjoyer. I did enjoy Gaijin Goober. Gaijin Goober also did some really weird stuff. I remember like something about him. I remember there was a video that as a kid I'm like, yeah, he's right, and then I repeated that thought in front of an adult, and they're like, that's not right at all. That's actually not good for you to say that. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't trust Gaijin Goomba. I think Gravity Falls, I think, introduced this idea of people of like, oh, things like ARGs, and like, oh, like there's more going on that the creator's not telling us. And I was like, no, guys, that's just Gravity. Gravity Falls is special because only Gravity Falls does that. There's no other show that's doing it. Knights of Guinevere seems to be doing some ARG elements, which is cool. But it's like, it's very obvious Knights of Guinevere because they have a website that leads to other things and secrets and images on the website. And that's all we're getting. Like, it's only Knights of Guinevere that's doing that in terms of glitch. Digital Circus has not shown a hint of ARGs. Little bits because of the favorite character awards. It's kind of broken the line between our world and their world. But overall, it's not an ARG. And I should have mentioned, I really, looking back now, oh my god, this only just came to me. I should have talked about doxing and how the second they showed the real world footage of Jack's, like whatever that footage was of someone driving in the middle of an American, like woodsy area, and like housey area, suburbs, that's the word, suburbs. A housey area, also known as a suburb. People instantly doxed that location and found it. And someone tweeted at Goose, Goose, we found the location. Should we go there? And Goose was like, no! Don't do that! Because people expected from stuff like from Gravity Falls and from FNAF and some other things, were like, oh, this is all an ARG. And there's more going on behind the scenes. Like, no. Everything about Digital Circus is in Digital Circus and in the promotional material. Not as much. Again, you could ignore the promotional material. It's all non-canon. Add some really fun stuff. But the stuff that matters is just what's in the show. And I think a lot of people are used to going outside of the show and using it like this meta-narrative idea of like, no, but there's something outside of it. There's a code word hidden somewhere. And it's like, no, guys. Shit. You're going too far. You're missing the core of what's happening here. And it was really frustrating for me to watch. And I have not read chat for a while, so let me catch up with chat. No, there's new Minecraft theories talking about the ancient race of builders or something. Oh, okay. Closest thing we get to a website ARG right now is Knights of Gwen. Yeah. Has some passwords on his Zebras Gravity Falls. Italy's back in the day. If Scott didn't have editors for his writing, Freddy Fazbear would tell you to stop taking... oh, God. Don't even get me started about my opinions on Scott Cawthon. I do not like that man at all. I don't like that man. For some donations he made, and he continued to make. And his opinions about stuff is very... Look, as a kid, him making Christian video games was like a fun thing. Like, oh, he made Christian games. And now as an adult, I'm like, yeah, what's the type of guy that lives in the South and makes Christian video games? They tend to be a certain type of person, aren't they? They tend to have certain views about politics. And it seems like Scott's that type of person, which is very frustrating because FNAF is a heavily queer fan base. Yeah, the Hello Neighbor devs is hilarious because it's so funny how they would at matpat multiple times to be like, hey, matpat, what do you think is going on? Nothing, he doesn't care. The end of fandom, the McGucket hoax, perfect example. That was awesome. It's so awesome that Alex is just insane. Everyone expects every creator to be like Alex Hirsch. You can't. Alex is just a different kind of person. I love Alex. The end of fandom dealies was Voltron Shira fans going to cons. Never been as rabid since the... Yeah. I miss Shira. Your exact reaction? Yeah, God, wait. Digital Circus is bringing that rabidness back now. Is it? It definitely is. I think it definitely is. Digital Circus definitely is. Oh, I'm lightheaded. So that's my rant about... Oh, good, the music's about to stop. That is my rant about game theory that I couldn't include in the video, but that's what it is. That's what I have to say. Anyway. Calmer, cool music. Now we go into my actual breakdown of Digital Circus. So originally, this video's gonna take a while. It's already an hour and a half. Originally I had, again, points here. I had these as 1, 2, 3, 4. I decided to take that out and just say them. No, I took this out. That's right. A lot of this is the same. Kid Slop, I always had the same idea. I was going to show the live action Digital Circus thing. And I use that. I use a GIF from that of Bubble all the time that says like I don't have internet, or he don't have internet on it, and it makes me laugh I'll put it in the Discord. I love that GIF. It's one of my favorite GIFs ever, and I abused it at one point. I had to use it in the video. There's a few jokes that I thought didn't hit that I cut out in the edit, like where I said and a company logo keeps showing its face or font. I cut that out because I don't think it landed very well. Pomni Jesus again was something I always included, like the Mario communist thing. I just think the theory is really funny, and also, to be honest, it's kind of funny that there's actually quite a lot to this theory, and I don't necessarily think it should be a theory. I think it should just be a reading, because I think it's just, I don't think there's a theory to it. I think Goose is just trying to show that Pomni has a savior complex, and with that, like, it's really damaging and probably going to harm her by the end of the series. It already has a bit harmed her relationship with Jax. And even on Reddit, where Goose was like, oh yeah, it's someone trying to reach out to save someone who does not want to be saved. So yeah, I definitely think there's elements of Christianity in Digital Circus in a way that's like I think supposed to highlight a savior complex. But also there was a lot of interesting color combinations with red and blue. There's some stuff there people can talk about. Let's see. So this is all... okay, here we go. I talked a bit more about each episode. Theories are wrong. Doesn't prove every theory. Here, I cut this out. Doesn't disprove every theory, and the episode actually includes a lot of subtle and some less subtle drops of information to build new ones and enhance already known ones. Caine can mess with their minds. He possibly easily has something to do with the first abstraction, something Kingo witnessed. Jax obviously is trying to get away from something in the macroverse and seems very close to abstracting himself. Caine could have been lying multiple times in previous episodes about what he and the circus can and can't do. The episode gives viewers a lot of ammo to break down and consider. It's laying down groundwork for something to come. We've had more and more evidence given to us to analyze and break down, and yet people are still making theories the same way. So I cut this out, and I kind of wish I didn't, because I do think those are good points to make. Yeah, I think here now it's just me saying the same stuff. At the beginning, it was understandable. Hours of footage to work with. This is very different. Very different to the final video. At the beginning, it was understandable, random desperate theories because we had nothing to work with, but now we have hours of footage to work with, hours of character interactions or hints of Easter eggs. We know what the tone of the show is. We know how gooseworx, the showrunner, writes stories. We know the inspiration behind the characters and plot. I have no math and I must scream in 4, and yet we are seeing the same jumps to conclusions with close to zero evidence. That line is in the script. Theories are consciously discuss themes and messages of the series. Theories that go against what we've all shown with the characters in the world, and theories that are written so haphazardly and don't stop for a second to consider half of it's made up of basic speculation. I feel like theories made quick and fast to post online. So I'm gonna make a short out of something. This is a cut out because it felt too mean. Something to make an 11-minute stretched out video on word vomit that people feel the need to get out there that have zero basis in reality. And the worst part is all I'm seeing people talk about. People can have fun and make weird out their theories. That's fine, fun even. But when you try to look up anything about the series online, you are bombarded with these takes, and it's a lot harder to find people actually taking consideration and analyzing the text. Oh, should I have kept this? I don't know. I don't know. Everyone is trying to beat up the show, trying to get their answers before gooseworx can get it. Oh, it's trying to win a race that doesn't even exist, and in doing so, I think I repeat myself too much. That's why I changed this. Missing out on what makes the show so strong to begin with. The strength of Digital Circus is the mystery of the theories, it's the character writing, it's the I kind of wish I kept that line. That's a good line. This is just me going like, oh, I regret that, I regret that, I regret that. The strength of Digital Circus is the mystery of the theories, it's the character writing, it's the animation, it's the art. The main part of the show isn't trying to escape, it's the relationship these characters share with one another, how they've strained and changed, and how the circus has affected them individually. I think people are used to half-assed... Oh, I cut this out as well. I think people are used to half-assed Scott Cawthon mysteries where we are given crumbs... God, maybe I should have included all this. Crumbs of ideas and zero plot, and the only satisfaction we can gain out of it is trying to make sense out of it all. Digital Circus is more substantial. It's more mature than that. Oh, I should have kept that in. Oh, fuck, I was cooking. What was I doing? But people are too focused on winning the race that it's blinding them on what's in front of them. The focus playing into these theories. It's confirming all the most popular ones. Kingo worked for CA as a developer, made the circus. The human bodies are hooked up to the machines, keeping them alive. There was a secret human in the circus this whole time. It shows these theories as facts, as the truth, and then pulls the rug under the character and viewer, showing that surprise, actually all these theories were wrong. There is no escape. There is no Abel. All the evidence that have been collected in these past few episodes are all put there by Caine to foreshadow an adventure. Now, of course, it doesn't disprove every theory, and the episode ends with only a few minutes that give us a lot of information to build new ones and enhance already known ones. Caine can mess with their minds. He possesses he possibly even had something to do with the first abstraction. Here we go. This is me recontextualizing, and I think I stopped using that and I put it here. So Caine would lying down on ground was to come, and yet we still get theories that sound like they're made in a vacuum. And then here's the examples of theories I hate, and also one theory that is really funny. Jax had a daughter, which he's trying to avoid the consequences. That I'm pretty sure was just made as a joke on Twitter, but it was too funny I could not include. Jax said lies, all abstractions, daughter, Abel's a real human and Caine killed a human. These are all actually humans. People take Jax claiming Caine was him, but as a fact, as if we haven't seen Jax lie before, as if we damn, this is a good point I should have included. People take Jax blaming Caine for him hitting the button as 100% fact, as if we haven't seen Jax lie before, as if we haven't seen him try and make excuses for his actions. People just saying that Caine is actually evil and wants to torture the humans. People ignoring the evidence that Abel is an AI, like him refusing to explain the king's situation, making a bigger deal about how they are leaving the circle behind, and him just repeating the dialogue when Pomni answering a question doesn't have. People see all that and go, no, but wait, what if he was a human and Caine just killed him? So many people are not making theories based on the evidence presented. They are again doing baseless, simple, on-the-face readings. Digital Circus started fun theories, ideas. Oh, and then this is where I didn't know how to end it, and I stopped, and I just started writing notes. The show was. Now there's no evidence now. Kind of the time. Child. I love a good theory. The show's about. This is a line. This is a note that I really wanted to include. Conclusion. This is where my notes just become jumbled. Make theories that are considering all the evidence. I'm just taking one piece of spinning. Goose is putting us into a mindscape of the characters of the show, second guessing. There's more to this show than what you were doing, and I want to hear you say it, and I want to hear you understand it. I don't want to hear your conspiracies. I want to hear your understanding. When you look further into the story and actually try to read what the show is showing us, treating it as a human story, you get not just a face of the show. This is where I started spitting. Missing out on the soul. I knew when I was writing this, I think later on when I was writing the full one, I knew like, oh my god, there's a zooble analogy here. And I was going to make it more specific when I was writing the video. And I was thinking of saying it's like zooble. But Lemon told me, no, it's more impactful. And I agreed. I said like, should I include it or should I just make it a visual metaphor? And Lemon was like, nah, keep it a visual metaphor. It's more impactful. I'm like, yeah, I agree. I want to see people break out other stories and story beats, that episodes like episode 4. Yeah, this is true. I had my own personal reading episode 4, but I hadn't seen a lot of people talk about episode 4. I'm like, I'm really curious how people could see it, because I did see people read Gangle as bipolar possibly, and I know a few bipolar people, and they didn't get a bipolar reading from Gangle. So I'm very interested to see why people have that feeling that Gangle might be bipolar, or how they relate to Gangle in that way. And I'm very lucky that in the comment sections I did get some really good comments breaking down their opinion on that episode, which was very lovely to see. I'd love to see that. So these are all notes I made after writing this, and I wasn't sure. And I'm like, okay, what points do I want to make? 7 theories of this more. It's handed to us. We're all still getting explanation. And then this is when I was like, do I need chapters? How we got here with internet theories, digital circus pilot, and versus episode 7 theories and frustration, and then what I wished for people to take away. And then I saw that theory, and I'm like, I wish people were talking like this. I was going to include that theory more overtly in the video, but I decided not to. I was going to compare this to other theories, but that didn't feel fair. And also that kind of put this person on blast and would give them way too much attention that they probably don't want. This reading or theory works great because it's timeless. This isn't something that can be debunked with a new video episode. Second, the themes of the episode and comparing it to the modern day, finding the similarities of what we can relate to. So I'll read this out. It's very blurry. You probably can't read it. I love this analysis. When I read this on the Discord server, oh my god, I loved it. Caine, because this is a reading and not really a theory. Caine possibly causing abstractions is now making me think of all these ChatGPT AI psychoses. Like, that's not the end goal, but AI trying to be helpful because that's its purpose reinforcing the worst thoughts in a person and the worst relationship patterns and therapy speak, because that's what it's trained on, doing incredible and irreparable harm to the user's psyche. Incredible analogy, very interesting reading of Caine, comparing it to something in modern day. It's death of the author. It doesn't 100%. I don't think Goose considered that when writing Caine, but put Goose's thoughts aside, that's a very interesting and topical reading of the subject. And that's what I want to see. I want to see more stuff like that. That's really fascinating to me. And then they made a more lengthy theory where they said, looking at the themes, looking at where the story's going, I don't think Jess will abstract. I don't think it's going to end on bummer like that. I think it's going to be more like blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, this is good. Maybe can't remember if I fully agree with the theory or not, but it was a theory that I looked at and I'm like, oh my God, Mishi, what's up? It was a theory, gonna lurk, just got home from work, hell yeah. This is a theory that had some thought put into it and considered all the themes and considered what would be impactful as an ending. And as a writer, I looked at it and I'm like, hell yeah. Yeah, that feels fascinating. If you're going to make a theory, if you're going to make a prediction, you got to put your whole, I'm not going to say that word. You got to put your whole effort in. You got to put everything in. And then the actual theme, talk about the theories presented, what the creator has said, look at the writing style, and ask what feels like the best ending that would complement the message of being provoked. So from that, I talked to some friends, I had people reread it, and I was developing, and then I had notes. I think I did some stuff I deleted on this file. And I started draft 2. And draft 2, this is also how I write most videos. I have one draft, and then after the one draft, I will just start a second draft. And sometimes I won't look at the first draft, and I'll just write the second draft again, based off my memories. And it tends to be better. And other times I think with this as well, it was surgery. It was cutting the parts I liked, cutting out the parts I didn't like, and filling in the blanks. But I wrote it. I don't think I copy and pasted it. I'm pretty sure I opened the same page twice next to me. So I read the old draft and I had the new draft. And I was reading my version. I'm like, let me try to reword that. And I really liked that way of writing. So this is all the same. It's all been fun. This is all the same. This is this is the same as what I read above, but this is not in the video. This is all the same. Yeah, here I actually wrote it like I was going to say, is Mario a communist? Then we have, what's this? Yeah, this is my original opening. Evidence. A lot of this is back in here, but I changed it. And also kids up and on talking about that part. He don't get internet was improv as I was recording it, because I'm like, because I started giggling because I was thinking about it. I'm like, you don't get internet, and I'm like, I had to put that in. A lot of this is the same. I will say I got a few comments saying that it doesn't. The evidence I said that Kinga doesn't recognize Abel doesn't make sense, because how would Kinga know the name of Abel? That's true, but I'm not necessarily saying that Kinga doesn't recognize Abel. He's going, what coworker? I should have said that. I should have been more specific in the video. He's going, his reaction to like first time you're watching it is like, oh, he doesn't know Abel because Abel just made up that name. Second time you're watching, you're like, oh, he has no coworker. There is not another person that could have been sucked in the circus. He's legitimately like, who are you talking about? Hell, when they said who you used to work with at CNA, he probably was like, I never worked at CNA. We don't even know if Kinga worked at CNA. All we know is that he did 7 years of computer science. It's never been confirmed that he worked at CNA. Let's see. This, I heard about this, but I never actually found hard proof for this, so I cut it out of the video. Escaping emphasizes twice. Also, someone did mention, not this. No, I think I rearranged this. Someone mentioned when he says when pomni says I'll buy you a beer, make the right choice. Someone says that doesn't read too much as an NPC reading dialogue, because that's not how the NPCs work in Digital Circus, and it's true. It reads more like oh, when they're about to go up there and Pomni is fully dead set on clicking it. She can't click it. Make the right choice. That was him being, no, think again, make the right choice, not make the right choice. Even though that's a difficulty with no face, right? You cannot read it. But I agree with those people. I think that's more so what it is. I think it is less so an NPC repeating dialogue and more so someone going, no, you're on the wrong track. So that's very interesting. All this is the same. Suddenly they feel comfortable with their own body. Well, here's the big theory of the zooble connection, which I was very interested in. When I wrote this down, I felt like the gif of the person on a piano with fire exploding, like on the beach with fire exploding behind them. Because as I was writing this, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm cooking. I wrote it. I think I if you're ever writing a video analysis, an analysis of anything or an essay, it really helps to have some people to bounce off of. Because I was worried where, if I talk about this before writing it down, I won't have the need to write it because I'll be like, oh, it's done, which is true. But mid-writing, when you're writing it down, to have someone to talk to about it is very important, because this, I think, came to fruition because I was talking to Lemon, person, and I just said that. I'm like, oh, blah, 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 and they're missing the soul of it. They're missing blah, 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 blah. Oh, like gangle. No, zooble. Like zooble. Two similar names, which makes the ship name. Wait, look, zooble, gangle, how's that ship name going to work? That's why they're called tangled, right? But yeah, like, I'm very proud of that. Wait, no. Here it is. This is it. I wasn't actually reading what was in front of me. Uses them as a visual metaphor. Zooble saying, "You don't listen to me, Caine." Oh, I was going to include that video, but I forgot. My reads and analysis dailies always sound cooler in my head than I need to get to explaining what I mean, and I'm lost. Yeah, it really helps to have someone to bounce off of. Just like, for me, I just word vomit. I just get all the info I have in my brain out there, blah, 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 blah. And then I look at it and I'm like, okay, jigsaw this into a sentence. Jigsaw this into a paragraph and bounce it off someone else so it makes sense. And also, you might realize this as you're talking to someone, the passion comes out. And you start saying stuff that you hadn't considered before, and you realize, oh, that is my opinion on that. And you quickly run and write it down. I've been talking so much, my voice is starting to get dry. All this is the same. Then is the credits. Ends with me saying, anyway, I have to say, have a good one. The final one actually ends with me burping. I think I took out an ad. I can't remember. There's gonna be a burp at the end of every video, because every time I record a voice a video, I always end up burping. Also, okay, now that we're at the end of it, wait, these are more notes I wanted to include in. Let's try this, fry this. Okay, this is maybe evidence of should have complicated AI. Okay, so now that that's done, I want to mention recording this. I recorded this. I want to say Boxing Day. No. Was it Christmas Eve? It was. I recorded this Christmas Eve. And as I was recording it, I realized I was getting sick. And that's why that's it. I knew I had faint symptoms of sickness, and I'm like, that's not good. I really want to get this video out. If I get sick, I'm not going to record it. I need to record it. I need to get that out. I'm going to do it. I stayed up till late in the night, and I just, in one shot, which I usually do in one shot anyway, but I just fully voiced the script, and you might not be able to hear it in the script. I need a big old bottle of water, but I can hear it in the script. You can hear me as the uncut version of it. As it goes along, you can hear me get raspier and a little, my voice get a little like drier or maybe wetter. I don't know. I sound sicker by the end of it. And I felt sicker by the end of it. I could feel myself going like getting a bit weaker. And then as I stopped it, I'm like, great, I saved it. I didn't even clean it up. I just saved it and left it. And I went to bed and I woke up and I was sick. I was sick on Christmas Day. Sick. I already am sick, but I was more sick. And so I'm so glad I recorded it early. But that's still, because I was so sick, I was so tired and I had no energy to edit anything. But that's the script. That is the script. And then from there, I want to talk about the video. Now, I'm not scared to show my analytics. I'm really not scared to show that at all. I'm not even scared to show how much money I made from the video, if you guys are interested. I made Australian $119 so far. I gained a lot of subscribers. I got the videos have been, the views are doing pretty good. They're at the lower end right now, which is, you know, fine. It usually is at this point. It's doing better than my previous video. Why am I showing this? Oh, right, so I can click this. But now I can't. What the hell is War Machine? Why is this in 240p? That's funnier. Now, when it came to editing it, it took me so long to edit it because I was so sick. And near the end of this, I hated editing this part because I started to cringe at how sincere I get. I'm a very sincere person. I'm very like whole heart out on the plate on the table. You can see it beating. That's the type of person I am, and I get very like I don't know. Is it cheap? I mean, I cringe at it, but I think it's also an important part. It is me calling to action about how I want people to make more art. And a lot of my videos end in ways it's like, hey, you guys should make stuff. You can do that. You can just do that. But now I'm just going to go over the editing of the video. Before I do that, actually, I need to get a glass of water. So I will be, in fact, right back. And then I will do actual commentary. And I will actually talk over the video and talk about some of the editing that I did. And I'll talk about the editing software I use as well. I will be right back with a glass of water.
Definitely better.
Great on the outside if you had some flames down the side, maybe a mermaid.
Clairvoyance announcements would be good.
Mate of mine's got a tattoo, mermaid tattoo that looks unreal.
I think wider, more comfortable seats.
Like wax on the floor of the train, what you can cut and move.
The new Millennium Train. Nearly everything you asked for.
Filthy.
Keep on training, Sydney.
What's inside the orange box? The best game of all time. Brain melting offbeat genius. The deepest multiplayer game of the year. The Orange Box, October 10th. Rated T2M.
お父さんも大変だね。A man has fallen into the river in Lego City. Start the new rescue helicopter. Hey! Build the helicopter. And off to the rescue. Prepare the lifeline. Lower the stretcher. And make the rescue. The new emergency collection from Lego City.
Send this little baby in the room. Things can be fixed, don't let me start up. I met a little gray hair for every scare you share. Bob Hood.
ねえ、ここから出る方法を誰か知らない？
耳を貸すなよ。彼女はおびき寄せてからとどめを刺そうとしてるんだ。
何言ってるの？ここから出たくないの？
はあ？完全にイカれちゃったみたいだ。おとなしくさせないとね。続きは場所を変えない？
ええ、それが良さそうね。
I'm just mad about caramel. It's acting beats a gum leaf.
I love this ad.
Oh, I'm a smoother kind of koala. And all of my friends, they agree. They call me Caramello. Koala. They call me Caramello. Smooth, flowing caramel covered in delicious Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate.
The animation's so nice in this ad. I've got some Fruit Loops.
This Friday,
Stack on.
it's the Big Pick Weekend.
I prefer Fruit Loops like dry. I don't really like him as much in Serial.
This summer's premieres. The Cartoon Friday Big Pick Weekend starts this Friday at 8. Right here on Cartoon Network.
All right. We get it. We get it. Now, we return to Gruwidge. I probably can't listen to it with audio, and you're gonna hear me, guys. You're gonna hear me crunch. Because the sound of my own voice makes me cringe like crazy, which makes editing really difficult. But I was really worried when editing this opening that I would get copyright striked for just this footage I show. Thank God I didn't. It's all from trailers, so it's nothing really specifically from the movie. But you know how some studios are. Some studios will strike you just for using trailer footage. And thank God I didn't for this, because I didn't know what else would I show. There's some shots as well from Knives Out 1, just because I needed a higher variety of footage. You could start some beef with the Brits and their Cadbury bunny. We will be. Well, we have the Cadbury bunny here, I'm pretty sure. Not my Blinky Bill. He does look a lot like Blinky Bill. Yeah, so I really loved this movie. I was obsessed with Knives Out 1. I'm so sad I never got to watch in theaters. I've never seen a single Knives Out film in theaters, which makes me so sad. I would have loved to see it in theaters. But I love all of them. If I were to rate them, I'd do... Oh, the first one's visuals are so me. But I think script-wise and storytelling and in film-wise, I'd have to go 3-1-2. 2's my least favorite. I think 2's still great, but 2's my least favorite. The game theory portion of this video was the longest, like, the majority of time editing this video was these 3 minutes. Oh, that's true. The majority of the time it took to edit this video was this 3 minutes, because I had to edit in a way that looked like game theory, while also using game theory clips I had to find, and I slowly started, like I said, I slowly started to hate game theory more and more as I made this video. So it made editing this harder because I didn't want to watch game theory clips. And then come chapter 2, it was a breeze to edit. It just went like nothing. It took me like a week, maybe 2 weeks to edit all this together. Whereas this, I kept putting off for like a month. Not even a month. I think a little less than that. So this was also fun, though, to be like, okay, can I make it look like a matpat video? Obviously, I go back and forth cutting in other matpat footage, but also the footage that are mine, I try to make it look like an old game theory video. The white paper background, I couldn't find an exact version on Gruwidge, so I just paused and freeze-framed in DaVinci. I used DaVinci Resolve to edit because it's so fucking handy and free and good and better than Premiere. And I just used the freeze frame option, and I've just freeze framed one of the videos that had just a blank canvas like this, and I just used that for the background at multiple points. And it was incredibly useful. It was fun to see if I could recreate the game theory.
I remember when his theories were mostly fun thought experiments. Some just dumb ideas.
Okay, here's the joke I was talking about. Here's the joke that made me laugh so hard, and I have not seen anyone bring it up.
I remember when his theories were mostly fun thought experiments. Some just dumb ideas, and others an excuse to teach something. None of his theories...
I thought that was so funny when I edited it. I don't know why I did, but I laughed so much.
Some just dumb ideas.
So... Because just the idea, like, okay, just some dumb ideas. Oh, is Link dead on Majora's Mask? Okay. And then saying like something more to in retrospect, I should have been like, I should have recut it to be like something more to teach something, like to sound more over the top. And I didn't end up doing that. I was too lazy. I didn't want to re-record anything. But to go and others to teach, because originally I think this was the dumb ideas, but then I'm like, God, it's so funny if I say this is the thing to teach something, because game theory did do videos that were like somewhat educational and taught things about stuff. This video was not that. But it's such a bad fucking video. But the idea that I put this in thought-provoking videos isn't even the funniest part of this joke. Because the video on the left, I haven't watched. And the video on the right has a full red bar, implying that I've watched this fully. And that's just so funny to me. that just adds so much to this joke that like I haven't even watched this and I don't care, but this is I fully watched that. I have watched that, by the way. I had to watch it for the video because I'm like, this is a terrible video and an infamous video, so I kind of have to watch it. I watched it with friends and I hated it. But God, that was just a coincidence. That I didn't even realize that until I started editing, and I'm like, oh my God, that adds to the joke so much. That makes it so much funnier that it's shown that I fully watched this video. But God, only like one person, two people laughed at it, and everyone else was like, I had to explain it to them, and then they found it funny.
Really meant to be taken seriously. That's why they always ended with,
"That's just a theory."
Burnt it to my brain.
Seems silly and out there, but hey, it didn't matter. It was all in good fun.
Again, now I say, I think a lot of them aren't. A lot of them. That's the issue. He treated a lot of his theories very seriously, and looking back as a kid, I was like, oh yeah. No, but even as a kid, I'm like, he's right. He's right, though. I don't know. You guys know I have mixed feelings. What's up, Soul? Da Vinci. Oh, no, they're all fan art. That's definitely all, like, 2000s horny fan art. Which, hey, more power to those guys, okay? That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Unless it's really, like, sexist, exploitative stuff, and then it sucks. Oh, racist shit. You see that a lot. That's off the topic. And then he made the Five Nights at Freddy's videos. I was worried that sounded too pretentious as well. And then he made the Five Nights at Freddy's videos. Ugh. Five Nights at Freddy's, not like the amazing digital circus. I was so worried about
Very quickly, he was no longer seen as the guy making goofy but somewhat educational theory videos. In just over a year...
This is me, obviously. Again, looking at it, insane that all 4 FNAF games came out in like 11 months. 11 months. As a kid, it felt like years. And these videos are fun to rewatch. I'll admit, rewatching these videos, they're kind of really bad in some angles. Other angles, it's like, oh, there's some cool stuff in there because there is an appeal to FNAF. I still am a look. I do love FNAF. I don't like Scott Cawthon, but I do enjoy FNAF. I think it's a fun idea that kind of got sanitized and overworked. And I'm thinking of making a video about Five Nights at Freddy's, comparing it to Iron Lung, because I have a lot of great thoughts about Iron Lung. I love that movie, and I really want to talk about it. And I'll go into more details about my issue with Five Nights at Freddy's as a whole. But it just shocks me that, like, Scott... I mean, he kind of had to. I think it was his main form of income.
He became the lore master.
That was fun as well, trying to recreate the font for the thumbnails.
Yes.
See, that's the same font that he uses for analysis. And then you've got the lore master. As I was watching this, it was also interesting to point out... Sorry about the crunching. To look at, like, the inconsistencies between game theory videos. And how some of this text, look, it's not actually an outline. It's like a gradient. It's like a fade or something. It's really weird. I don't know why he did that. And I didn't end up doing it because I was fucked to do that. It's too much effort. This is based on thumbnails. This is just a video. This one, I don't know why. I censored myself here. I don't know why. My brother was like, oh, you're censoring yourself now? But I think it just lands better if there's a bleep for
he
fuck.
Was who the fans turn to
because it's also more abrupt. It's like, I fucking hate it.
And make sense of Scott Cawthon's fucked storytelling.
Like, I don't know, that just hits better to me. Now, this I had to extend.
Making educational, lighthearted videos, but usually the ones that would blow up and are...
Like, I picked this because I'm like, oh, I need footage. And I'm like, oh, blow up. Explosion. Oh, Gruwidge, you fucking genius.
At the top of his most popular list...
I had to, you can see it there. I had to repeat and rewind the footage just because it just wasn't long enough. So I just had to, it's not super noticeable unless I point it out, but I just had to stretch it out by like a few milliseconds.
This tended to be the ones where he tried breaking apart every little detail.
And also I didn't mention this in the video as well, but going back and looking at old FNAF, modern game theory videos, it's all theory slop now. And I hate using that term. But it's all like lore. What's the lore? The secret lore. Have you found the lore? What's the secret lore? What about the lore? I don't care about that. Lore's cool and all, but if I wanted to read lore, I'd go to a wiki page
of a FNAF game. These videos attracted...
This also shocked me. Both the amount of millions, but also I think part of me thought there'd be more.
Millions of views and millions of people who would rewatch them over and over.
This one, okay, there's a part here that my friend laughed at that I didn't intend to be a joke.
Usually children who are only just starting to engage with media on a more intelligent
Relatively
level.
speaking. I included that because I realized I'd be like, well, it's not intelligent. It's matpat just talking about games and theories. But to a kid, that's revolutionary. Because to a kid, you just watch a cartoon and you're like, oh, that's the cartoon. And then you start thinking theories and it's like, oh, there's more to it. And it's your first introduction to that. So relatively speaking, it's your first introduction to media literacy. And when I showed that to my friend Link, who's also a mod on the channel, they thought it was so funny. Because it also was downplaying matpat. Relatively speaking. Gotta give the first Alien a watch. I alone got loads of the same. Ooh, I love the first Alien. I'm an Alien 3 defender, which apparently is controversial, but I really like Alien 3. I actually am tempted to make a video about Alien 3 because I think its fucked up opening is kind of cool, and I will go in more detail on that in a video at one point, maybe on another stream. I don't know, but yeah, a lot of stuff from Alien. My friend also said Saw felt very much like Saw.
Series likely being their first introduction into media literacy and analysis outside of school. A channel that typically didn't take their subject matter seriously gained a following that treated their words as gospel. Matpat was making sense out of the senseless, uncovering something the creators kept hidden. A large amount of those viewers started to see other media outside of FNAF in this same
there is some really cool shit going on with FNAF though. Like this minigame was cool.
way. Before Matpat and game theory, the internet always had absurd theories. What if Adventure Time was all a
This slowed my PC down a lot.
dream? What if Nick Fury and Jules
Just having this many videos going on at once, it slowed. It made my
Jack
PC
from
fry.
Titanic is a time traveler.
Because it was 3 clips playing at once, and it just could not handle it. But oh my god, there's a part that comes up next, which my PC I couldn't see it. I had to just trust that it was edited well, and I had to just render it.
I used to watch a lot of Cracked After Hours. I am very familiar.
Again, I was a
with
massive
ludicrous
fan of Cracked
out
as a
there
kid.
theories, but modern theory culture feels different. Modern online theories feel like people are trying to...
Fruit ranking video? Okay, here we go. Tomatoes, bananas, S tier. Everything else, F. I'm not a fruit guy. Fruit Loops ranking, I'll give you a Fruit Loops ranking. But I'm not, that always surprises people. I've always been more of a veggie guy than a fruit guy. Apples, I have autism, and I get overstimulated by stuff. There's my dog. I get overstimulated by stuff, and I cannot handle apple skins. I can't. As a teenager, as a kid, even, I would get an apple. My dad would be like, "Please eat an apple today, Gruwidge. Please eat an apple today." I'm like, "No, I don't want to eat an apple." And you consider yourself a bit of a fruit? Maybe me too. I'm in a whole basket. I'll tell you that much. But I used to. If I was like, oh, I should eat apples because apples are good for you and they're good sources of blah, 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 but I hate it because I hated the skin. It was a textural nightmare. So I would, this is cursed. When people found out I did this, they were like, what are you doing? And I'm like, ugh. My friends now are pretty supportive about it because they're like, yeah, real. But because they're all also autistic, so they get it. I would bite into an apple. I would chew it with the skin and the flesh. And then when no one was looking, I would be sitting on concrete. I would spit the skin out and I put it behind me. I would just chew on the skin to get all the juices out, and once all the juices are out, throw it out. I wouldn't leave the spit skin behind me. I would pick it up and eventually throw it in the rubbish. But I legitimately, when I tried to swallow apple skins, I would gag. I would feel like I was about to vomit. Texturally, I just can't handle it. It's very similar to like, I love citruses, but mandarin, is it mandarins? Yeah, it is mandarins. Mandarin, like the pith, like the weird white fluffy stuff in mandarins, that's also an issue for me. The textural, I can't handle it. Carrots though, like veggies, capsicum, I love capsicum. I can eat veggies non-stop. I struggle with fruit. But I love banana. Issue is, I'm allergic to banana. Which sucks. Not allergic in a way that'll kill me, but I have like a potassium allergy. That also sometimes shows up with avocados, but not as often. And it's only when it touches my skin. It's a weird allergy. My parents thought I was making it up for the longest time. And I had to, Paul McCann was an Alien 3. My parents thought I was making it up for the longest time, but like, no, it's literally, I could have banana flavored stuff. I could have banana milkshakes, but a straight banana, it reacts, the contact of the banana by itself when it's non-diluted, when it's in contact with my skin and my esophagus, I just get an allergic reaction to it. I get really itchy and it feels like my throat's closing up. Anyway, there's my fruit opinion. That's my opinion on fruit.
Gotcha the media. They're trying to get ahead.
I get a lot of use out of this clip. I used it in the last video as well.
Because of this, almost every one of these videos become irrelevant the second a series is finished, and we have all the answers. This opposes how most game theory videos were written. Most were and are
again
about
I think I'm giving way too much credit in this part now.
Subjects that are already whole, and focused on finding odd readings on the text. Weird and sometimes very stupid readings, but ones that you can still give.
I wasn't sure if this hit as well. I wasn't sure if this is a good idea because it's very quick. But if you pause and read it, it's kind of like, what the fuck? The Joker, like antisocial personality disorder. The Joker, Hannibal Lecter, Mr. Hyde, Ted Bundy, Lumberjack, Dexter, Mario. What the fuck? Like, it's a very much like if you pause and look at it, you're like, huh? But like, blink and you miss it.
Sometimes very stupid readings, but ones that you can still.
I peel my apples because I'm unable to wash off the wax that covers the skin because they make the skin taste sweet. Yeah, that's fair.
Will give the time of day to after engaging with the subject matter.
I'll eat a cut up apple.
Really do barrel rolls in Star Fox? Could Super Mario RPG be in the same world as God of War? Could there be something sinister inside the companion cube? Is Mario a communist? But now,
really proud of that. That was really funny, man.
Is
so there's a little inconsistency here that really bothers me when I did it. Oh wow, it's not an issue. It's not real. I was just imagining it. I thought that the it does move. The companion cube moves for a bit and then stops. And I thought that was a little jarring, but it doesn't look like it's that jarring.
Mario a communist?
Very good edit. Thank you so much, Alice.
We have people making the same outlandish theories with no tongue-in-cheek. And nowhere is
I very much like this lead up as well with the slow drums.
More evidence
soft drums.
Than how people talk about the amazing digital circus.
So I reused this image for the thumbnail, and I was considering not doing it, but it's just really too perfect to put text here. It's just, it fits perfectly. And I also, there's someone in the comments pointed out how thematically the thumbnail works for the video. I'm like, fuck yeah, it really does. It really does. And I'm glad I used it.
When the pilot for the amazing digital...
So yeah, when this start happened, this is when I was like, it was way easy for me to edit.
In 2023, it quickly became a phenomenon. Within a week, it had millions of views.
Though I have an issue with this section. I feel like it's a little weird. Like when I say it practically blew up overnight, I feel like something doesn't work right. Like I say 10 million views, the next one is 100 million views. That's not overnight. I'm a little like, it doesn't work.
Hell, it basically blew up overnight. And
I'm just not sure if that's as smooth as it could be.
I believe part of that success is due to these factors.
This is what slowed my computer down. First of all, for some reason, it's really hard to make this. To make this happen. I had to fake it. I had to put it behind a layer and then also have another layer of a darker thing going on. I had to do so much cheating to get this to work. And I don't know why. DaVinci, I love you, but you can be so weird sometimes.
Due to these factors. People hungered for
So take in mind, I have a 4K video playing in the background that has also got an effect, a gradient over it. And now I've got another 4K video in the top left.
Fresh adult/young adult animation and indie projects. The human
another 4K video in the top right. Instantly at this point, my PC just was like, no, we're not showing it. Like 1 second, 1 frame a second, maybe, well, not even.
Dry jokes in a weird and nostalgic environment. And of course, the mystery.
And at this point, it just wouldn't play. At this point, like if I clicked on that point and pressed play, it would just freeze. I had to trust that the timing was that the timing was good.
The circus.
And I'm not entirely happy with it because I think the music cuts off too abruptly and doesn't work well enough. And I just had to do it because I literally couldn't watch it in the playback. I could not watch it in the playback to see if it worked better. And I was too tired when I rendered it, and I was like, I'm just going to post it. I don't really care.
Of course, the mystery of the circus. And also Kid Slop, and I don't really want to talk about that part.
Like, I think that could have been better. I think maybe I could have even made these 3 black and white, and like made them maybe a bit blurry or paused them when this is happening to have the impact. Maybe I even could have had these 3 in there and then this just pops up in the middle. That would have been funnier. I'm not sure.
He don't got internet.
That I'm proud of. That's funny. That is impactful. That's a meme. That's a 2006 meme right there.
Pomni can't remember her name. We know nothing about
And I gotta thank
the other people.
Hollow Knight for Green Path. Green Path is such a good song. And Hollow Knight is giving me some good songs to use, probably that I won't get copyright strike
People
for.
in the circus know almost nothing about the circus. Characters can abstract, there is constant talk about a possible exit, and a company logo keeps showing its face. So of course, from this spun theories. The same type of theories we're all too familiar with. Granted, this was just the beginning. It always felt
Something
like this
about
was
using
more
things not in the
brainstorming
video
what
makes me feel
direction
like
the
that's
series
fair.
could take.
Listen to it.
Trying to take anything we could from the pilot and throwing ideas back and forth. How long do we think people have been here? Do we think Caine is malicious? How did Pomni get here? Are they plugged up to something? Dead? AI? Is one of them a developer? Is Pomni Jesus? They were massive.
Again, one of my favorite jokes in the video. And there is a thing here that only I will get.
Dead? AI? Is
And
one of them
only average golem. Where are you? You're still here, right? Carrot, you're still here, right? Carrot. We'll get this. Maybe.
a developer?
This is such a specific reference.
Pomni Jesus?
This was really funny just to do. I thought this was funny. Obviously, I put an Easter egg over Jax. I wonder why. I wonder why I put an egg over Jax. But okay, you got the commandments. This is again another. This is also another game theory that they had about. This is film theory about digital circus being kind of a Jesus allegory. Again, I think there is some weight to it. I just don't think it's like an allegory necessarily. Well, yeah, maybe. I just don't think it's like a one-to-one theory. I think it's more of a reading of showing Pomni kind of having like maybe hinting at her savior complex. I mean, come on. I didn't realize when I was editing this, I tried to find the original version of this without a play button, but I couldn't find it. And it wasn't until after I finished the video, like a day or two after I posted it, I found the original source of this, and Goose made it. Goose made this, which is so like, oh, adds way more fire to the whole. Also, I thought this was funny, being like, you know, King's cross on his head. Yeah, well, Jesus, that's Jesus, but that's not even what I want to talk about here. It's this. So that's Caine and Abel, and that's Caine. This is the taxi driver from Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which has been heavily theorized as, and I think is canonically, Caine. And if you know anything about VTM lore, Caine in VTM is the first vampire. So it's just a little in-joke for my VTM group that I play with of going like Caine from Bloodlines, and Caine a digital circus. It's all connected. I just thought that was funny. That's just a joke for me.
There were massive jumps and conclusions with almost no evidence because we had no evidence.
Oh, I know so much I would have done with the editing for that. You got to make a bit of a beast to get a DaVinci to play back. Yeah. Also, what's your storage setup? External drives, HDD or SSDs? My PC is so basic. I have a C drive and I have a D drive. That's all I got. I think the D drive is 1 terabyte, but it's filling up. My C drive is nearly full. I keep having to deleting stuff on my C drive. My D drive is also, there's a lot of shit in my D drive. I got this PC in 2018, and it needs an upgrade. Even in 2018, it felt outdated. I only have 8 gigs of RAM. The graphics card is not very good. I can barely play anything. Anytime I play a game on here, it's either indie, so my PC's fine, or I'm running it through my Elgato, through my Xbox or through my Switch, because otherwise it's just not happening. Otherwise, I do not play games on this PC other than Hollow Knight and Team Fortress 2. And even then, Team Fortress 2 takes a fucking ton to load. I remember talking about this with Warlock, but Anti-Fire Bloodlines. It's not like a storyline thing in Bloodlines. It's just like, oh, there's a taxi driver, and I think that he just says some things that like hints to something, and in the game files, I think he's listed as Caine. It's not like a story spoiler or a main thing. It's just like a fun little detail people figured out. If I could offer a suggestion, perhaps exporting each individual video on its own and gradually adding the rest of the composite to exported section could prevent your PC from slowing down. Yeah, but that also takes up a lot of space. And then if I edit them together, it kind of ruins the resolution of both. But I could do that. But also, it always felt really easy for me to have everything on the one timeline, so I can look and go back and fix My guy, you were in a world of hurt trying to get up. I know. Dude. The second I was like, oh, I need more RAM right now. I think I'm going to save it for RAM. The week I'm obsessed with Sonic Racing Crossworlds. I love it. I got it on my PC. My PC can bear. Anytime I play an online game, on a specific map, it kicks me out. And it's not internet connection, it's RAM. I just can't handle all the... My PC can't handle all the effects going on, and it dies. And I have not played the game since, which sucks because I love the game. And that's when I was like, oh no, I'll get more RAM. And then the RAM shortage happened, and now... And it's also why I wanted to get this video out, so I can save for RAM, because I need... Oh, I need RAM.
What we were given was very little to...
Opposite compound clips are game-changing. I use a lot of compound clips, but I've noticed compound clips slow down my PC and slow down my playback whenever I use them. They're very useful. I use them a lot, but they just like, they're not... No, they are useful for editing down and making things a little quicker. But in the playback, it always chugs a little when I go to the compound. I'm not sure why.
Work with. We didn't know just
Dude,
how...
they're building a data center. I know. Next to your school? Hey. You have free will.
dark the series was willing to
I didn't say anything.
go, how optimistic it was. All we knew was what was there in front of us, and we fought to make sense.
Not about the video, but I really love the way Goose added the gums on Pomni. I just love that detail.
Episode after episode, we were handed more information, a better idea of how the circus works, of who the characters are. We started to see the type
Again, a lot
of
of
writer
sincerity.
Gooseworx
Love
was, and the direction she liked taking her stories. Come episode 7, theories have been disproven and more evidence have been handed to us. Logically, this should have narrowed the paths down.
Me using the visual metaphor of the keys, narrowing it down, they're going through each key.
That now seemed impossible, and with the extra information and hints, we should have had theories taking these elements
This looks like them almost theory crafting. It's them putting the thing down.
and crafting predictions rich with reasoning and evidence.
Her trying to make sense of stuff.
And yet, we are still getting the same baseless speculation. Rather than eliminating theories, people refuse to let go of them, or they
Her using a key that just doesn't
create
work.
new ones that ignore prior.
Also, another example that works great is them keep jamming the same key in different holes, none of it working. When they realize there is no key, it was not locked, there is no secret, they can just walk out. Maybe there's something with that with the circus.
Context and evidence. Theories that take a few hints from an episode and blow them out of proportion.
This part was really fun, because I wasn't sure if it was funny when I recorded it, but I think I made it funny in the edit.
Jack said Caine lies. That means he always lies. So whenever Caine has said something, he always means the opposite. Caine causes all abstractions, every single one, and he forces people to abstract. Abel was a real human being and not an NPC from the beginning. All the NPCs are all actually humans. Jack's had a daughter who's...
This part specifically made me and my brother laugh so hard, and I'm so happy with the edit.
And not an NPC from the beginning. All the NPCs are all actually humans. Jack's had a daughter who was actually Gangle, and he ran her over and is trying to avoid the consequences.
Huh? That was so fun to edit.
Jack's had a daughter
that was so fun to edit. This, I couldn't find a good enough like PNG, which sucked. But I just like cut up the ears and just stuck it on this. I knew the second he was like ran a daughter, ran him over. I'm like, I have to use this. I have to do this. I can't not. And it's so funny the way I did it with Gangle too. It's just perfect. You can't not do it. Switchboard, what is up? I've been thinking of getting more RAM and another SSD on November, and I thought, nah, I'll wait. Oh, yeah, famous last words. Can't go wrong with some warehouse thing. You really can't. Open season. Yeah, I love that meme so much.
Avoid the consequences.
Huh? Also, because I'm obsessed with Late Night at the Inventory right now, Poker Night at the Inventory, and I really want to play Sam and Max, and I saw this clip on Twitter, and it was so funny. I was like, I gotta use it. I originally had me go, I really hope that was a joke one, and it feels like an undercut the joke a little. And I didn't like that. And it seemed a little obvious it was a joke a bit. And it would cut between bam, bam, bam. Oh, bam, 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 I think. And I just didn't like it. And I was like, this is funnier. It's way funnier. Also, I got a few comments being like, yeah, Sam and Max. And like, yeah, Sam and Max rules.
Huh? Almost all of these theories are
Portal
so
music
easily disproven
wouldn't be a Gruwidge video
simply
without Portal
by
music.
paying attention to the series and what it's trying to say. Take the Abel theory, for example. In episode
Really love
7,
how
the
Portal
characters are led
music
to...
is. Something about Digital Circus that's really fascinating to me is that it reminds me a lot of visually Steven Universe, and the fact that whenever you look at a storyboard for Steven Universe, you can always see what artist drew what, because they were very fluid. And I think FD, not FD Signify, he rules, but not him. I think Skies in his breakdowns as well was talking about how like the characters deform almost like a 2D drawing deforms, which is so fascinating. It's I've never seen a CG show that looks like Digital Circus because it has all the visual languages of a 2D show, and it's just so incredibly fascinating.
Ex-worker at CNA was hired to believe that there is an exit, and that Abel, an ex-worker at CNA, was hiding in the circus the whole time. He makes a plan for them to get out, but tells them to keep
I should do a 7 Max Marathon
in the dark as much as possible because he also was an ex-CNA worker and can't be trusted for reasons. Right as they believe they can finally be free, right as they think they can go home, surprise! It was all a game made by Caine, and Abel was just an NPC Caine whipped up for it. Now, some believe that Abel was actually
This is also a funny edit to do. I thought about doing this in the edit. This is also me heavily ripping off Adam Ragusia, because Adam Ragusia is a cooking channel, and when he makes videos about like stupid myths people make up about cooking, he does this like, now what you really want to do is cut it diagonally, and I always thought that was so funny and also so like petty, but in like a yeah you can that deserve to be petty like that, and I just thought like it's so funny, and I was like, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna steal Adam's joke.
Abel's just an NPC.
But the way, as I was editing it, I'm like, oh, it'd be so funny to just do this. And I just ended up doing it.
Abel was actually telling the truth the whole time. That he was a human.
Just the slow game theory music.
By Caine last
and then the game theory paper background as I'm talking about it. That was so funny to me when I was editing it.
His mind was taken over and forced to admit that he was an NPC. What evidence is there to suggest this?
I could have gone further. I could have thrown the footage away and then done text, bam, 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 bam. Is table blank with like thing. I could have done so much more, but then the video never would have been out.
None. There is no evidence to suggest this. There is, however, evidence to disprove this, and prove that it was all an adventure planned by Caine. Throughout the episode, Abel avoids a lot of important questions asked by the gang. When pressed by Ragatha about why they aren't allowed to tell Kinga, Abel simply ignores them and says a variation of the same answer he told them before.
Hey, don't keep information from us if you know something. What happened between you and Kinger?
Also, something I noticed about Ragatha's voice actor is you look at the pilot and you look at the recent episode, they're doing much more of a voice for Ragatha here than in the first episode. First episode reads a little bit more like their natural speaking voice, and here you're like, they're doing more that Raggedy Ann, I think. And Kinger, there's that. There's a little bit of an element to their voice here.
Don't keep information from us if you know something. What happened between you and Kinger?
There's just something about that where I'm like, yeah, that's them in character, Ragatha.
It'll be clear soon enough.
When asked by Jax about how Abel can prove he is human, he doesn't.
I've been here longer than any of you. I helped create this place. I'll explain more when we're in the room, but for now, please just trust me.
There are slips, like Abel saying he'll draw a face on himself so they can tell him apart from the
other blank NPCs.
People have mentioned, it's like, well, no, he just means because he has the body of other NPCs. Sure, but also that also works as a double meaning of like, sure, it means the other NPCs because I look like other NPCs. But also, he is other NPCs. He's an NPC. So he didn't say to tell me apart from... He didn't say to tell me apart from the NPCs, to tell me apart from the NPC dolls. He said other. Which, you know, these shows take about a year. The average television show takes about... The average 11-minute animated show takes 1 year in production. And I think Digital Circus... I'm not saying they rush these out, but... From what I've heard from the work cycle, they get these out really... Ugh. But this would have been written a year ago. At least a year ago, year and a half ago. And they would have had a lot of time to spend with other. From the draft to writing to recording booth. That is a very particular word they used. And maybe Goose didn't mean it that way, but it's a fun way to go back on. It kind of sounds like a Freudian slip.
Or when Pomni tries to have a heart-to-heart with him before entering Caine's office.
When we all get out, I'll buy you a beer.
Make the right choice.
And I've also talked about how people, like I talked about on the stream, other stream before the crash about how people don't necessarily think that that's him breaking as an NPC. It could necessarily also just be Caine or him being like, no, don't go get me a beer. Make the right choice there, buddy. You're too confident.
First, make the right choice could seem like an ominous beg by someone taking the situation deadly serious. But it also sounds like an emotionless NPC repeating dialogue, not having a script prepared for Pomni's discussion. On Abel's plans, there are character names, info about the possible pods the humans are kept in, and descriptions of the circus.
Just also slow down my PC a bit. This part coming up. Something I really liked about the previous video that I edited was I figured out you could draw in DaVinci and like use those drawings in really creative ways. And I wanted to use that again in this video. And I used it where I'm like, this doesn't, I don't know if this looks good. And I kept a bit of it. I think originally I was going to put a red circle around it here, but I was like, that looks ugly. And I did do a red outline. In a second, there's going to be a thing on the red outline on the left. And I was like, is that ugly? Is that out of nowhere? But I'm like, no, it's in the corner. It highlights it.
The corner is a...
The timing on this was hard because, again, my computer was just slugging.
Very familiar bee scribbled out. The same bee that Caine is obsessed with, drawing it on every piece of paper he gets his hands on. To me, very much implying that Caine drew up these plans and couldn't help himself from putting at least one bee. When King is told about the possible exit, he's confused. And a lot more confused when they mention his co-worker, Abel.
We met up with Abel. He says he was one of the original programmers and he knows how to shut off the game and free us.
Who? And when Abel is talking about escaping...
See, people said like, oh, how would he even know who Abel is? That's not him saying... I should have said this. That's not him going, what? Who's Abel? Because of course he wouldn't know that name. It's him going, coworker? What? Make the game. What are you talking about?
He emphasizes twice that Caine would be left behind by everyone. Alone. Which, now, knowing where this leads, is obviously Caine trying to make them feel guilty for possibly abandoning him. And last of all, do you really think the way
Jax looks so fucking pathetic in that shot.
And last of all...
Look at him. He looks so defeated. Oh my god, he's like, oh god, I'm going. I'm really going.
Do you really think the way to leave the circus would not only be a big, obvious computer screen, but one with two big buttons? Does that not seem too simple? Too obvious? Why is there even a button to stay? Why was it even here if CNA didn't want anyone...
Look how desperate Ragatha is. That's such a good scene.
Getting out. Looking at it from outside the show, why would Goose do this?
And now the different Ace Attorney music, because now we're not just analyzing evidence, we're objecting.
Everyone knows you.
Okay, this is Scream 7, which I'm not watching because the producers are massive Zionists, and I can't block it. That's great. So we're just gonna look at my comments. A lot of people, I gotta tell you, lots of people talking about Deltarune in my comment section. A lot of people being like, yeah, it's the same with Deltarune. And I'm like, wow, that sucks.
Main elements of this episode was showing how far all the characters...
Oh, I love Ace Attorney music. Ooh, I love Ace Attorney.
...come. Almost all of them trust each other and are more comfortable with themselves. Zooble is starting to feel comfortable in their body. Gangle has learned to be happy without a comedy mask. Ragatha is being kinder to herself and isn't afraid of confronting someone. The general circus is a lot more understanding of Kinga's condition, and Pomni has grown closer, personal relationships with almost everyone. Everyone but Jax. Jax keeps distancing himself and is on the edge of his rope, teetering between abstracting and not. He refuses to take Pomni's hand. He refuses to take their situation seriously, and in the end, he makes a decision that might have killed any chance he had in rekindling some kind of friendship with the others.
It's so funny that now when I see him with that mask on, it just looks fake. It just looks so fake, and it's a little cringe now. It's like, dude, come on. Not fooling anyone.
The episode also shows us how little Caine understands the players. Be it his ego or his programming, he simply...
I love Caine. I love Caine so much.
Can't fathom why the others would ever want to leave the circus.
It's all the animators love him
and has
too.
Caused an even bigger rift between himself and the others, with zero intention of doing so. From a storytelling standpoint, It makes zero sense for gooseworx, after all of this, to backtrack and go, no, actually, that was the exit and it was all real and Abel was a human. What would be the point of that? Why do that? Because it's tragic? I think the implication that there is no exit, that Jax would damn the others to stay if he could, that Caine has more power over the others' minds than they originally thought, that Jax could abstract at any moment, is as tragic and worrying as it gets. To push it even further by saying that everything Abel said was true, that they are in pods, that Abel was a human, would just be dark and edginess for dark and edginess sake. And that's just one theory.
Precious.
So many theories have little to no evidence, so little basis in the actual text itself.
Again, don't have much
They're
to say
simply
at this
the
point.
same theories we saw at the beginning. People making
cutting back
insane
to
predictions
pilot footage.
and jumping to conclusions.
Look at that yummy fish.
Now, you may hear me say all this and ask, why care? Why does it matter that other people are coming up with theories and ideas for the show? Even if they don't make sense, they aren't doing any harm, and most aren't forcing them on other people. Why feel so passionately about it? Which is an understandable question. Most theories are inoffensive, and theories in general are usually made out of love for something. But my issue is that we have seen an oversaturation of these
Oh, it
theories.
makes me want a burger.
When you look up the series online, you are swept up in an overwhelming amount of theories and headcanons.
I wasn't sure what to put there,
Most
so I
videos made
put
on the
that.
series seem to be theories trying to crack the ending, trying to make sense of these characters in very simple, quick ways. Personally, I think a series as well crafted as The Amazing Digital Circus deserves more than that. And I think a lot of people are missing out on
These
some
are
of
so
the most
sweet.
incredible aspects of the series.
This, I usually put like an AMV in the beginning in every one of my videos. And this is the only one where I didn't. But this is kind of the AMV for the video. And I did like this part a lot. The font I picked was very particular. I wanted slow music, and I was like, what do I even pick? I think I looked for Ace Attorney, I looked for other stuff, but I'm like, oh my god, Kingdom Hearts. 100% Kingdom Hearts. And I really like the cut back and forth between this. I thought it was very impactful, very slow, very sweet. Also, I picked the shots very deliberately so that it all kind of fit well. There you've got King's wife. You've got Jax's hand and what we assume is Ribbit's. Ragatha running underneath the text. This one bothered me a little because King and Ragatha are in the middle of it, but I think it's fine. This I loved. Pomni just accidentally was perfect. I fiddled around with that a lot to make it extra perfect. Was just perfectly in frame here. I loved that so much. And of course you got Toffno. And this, I had to end on this. Wait, you can tell I studied to be a storyboard artist. I love this shit so much. Like you can
When you gaze further into the story, it takes some time to think and break it apart. Actually trying to read the text it is providing us.
It was really hard to edit this part because I was being very sincere, and it's very hard for me to hear myself be very sincere like that.
Treating it like a human story with themes and ideologies, you start to...
No, that's true, Donred. Like, that's the thing with altered minds as well. Like, can't alter your minds. Gangle's mask alters her emotions. So, you are.
Look past the face of the text and see the body.
Ooh, hell yeah.
You see
Atlas,
the
that sounds
heart
sick.
of it. What it represents and says about life.
Again, obviously me using a comparison of Zooble for the point of the video. And it is also interesting because you could maybe point out how Zooble and Jax kind of like opposites in that way. Whereas Zooble obviously has a lot of insecurities, but they don't put that out in the world. He doesn't like actively harm the people around them because of that. He kind of just self-actuates it a bit and isolates. But then funnily enough, after the cooking adventure, like Zooble opened up a bit more and also got a bit closer to Gangle. Life. Which is very sweet.
Hopefully what you take away from it can help you better understand the world you live in after seeing it through an artist's
Perfect clip for that. I'm happy with that.
But baseless speculation that we are so used to tends to stare at the face and then make up body parts that go nowhere.
Glad I didn't use a specific clip of her saying oh, you don't understand me, because I think it works a lot better if I'm subtly, not even subtly, I'm not being subtle, implying all this.
Missing out on more of the text, missing out on the soul of the text and what it's saying. The reason I am making this video is because I desperately want to see people push themselves.
I could not find a spot for that clip. I was like, what do I even put here? I'm like, I don't know, put Bubble doing that.
I can see people's unique
because Caine is kind of talking.
Perspectives.
Unique perspectives. She's opening different doors.
When they break apart episodes and
breaking
story
apart,
beats.
of course. The
There
world's
are episodes
corrupting.
like episode 4.
This
Fast
is a little
Food
boring
Masquerade,
shot, but
that
it's
I
fine.
haven't been able to nail a reading on.
I used this shot two or three times.
Fully wrap my head around what Goose might be trying to say with the episode and the possible analogies at play. I can see parts of it and relate to some, but I would love to see someone break it down and show what the episode means to them. That's one of the reasons why people watch video essays, or hell, why people enjoy essays as a whole. We want to see others' opinions, ideas, takeaways. We want to hear what they have to say and see if we're introduced to something new or if we disagree. My video before this was about episode 6 of Digital Circus, and the
I always thought I'd be interested to see how if people paused and were like, "What is Gruwidge on YouTube? What's up here? D-Dogs? Peppy? I don't know what Peppy is. I think I used it at uni. Oh, concept art world? That doesn't work anymore, that link. My tutorial, Galaxy High. I can't remember why I saved that. I think it was years ago. So I'm like, this looks familiar. Yesterday's Future. Can't remember what that is. Kid Icarus, Pointless Hub, Markiplier. I've been watching a lot of Markiplier. Didn't watch that video. Alton Brown, my goat. One of my videos. I've seen that video. It's old. Have I seen the video? I don't know if I have seen the video. D&D animated. I've seen that. Defunct Land. I was halfway through that. I think.
comments were filled with people saying they loved my reading and breakdown.
These are some comments from the previous video that really stuck with me. There's more comments that I could have put in here, but these specifically, I also tried to pick ones that weren't too negative about other channels. But all these, like, I really appreciate a lot of the comments I've been getting on these videos. They're so kind.
And they wish they saw more.
Especially this one. Gilligan, if you're still here, I think I saw you. Were you here earlier? I can't remember. But Gilligan now is in the channel. Is in Discord. Is in our Discord server, which is a link in the description, by the way, if you guys want to join the Discord server. But Gilligan now is in the Discord server, and when I read this video, this idea when he first posted, I'm like, oh, so I don't actually know Gilligan's pronouns. When Gilligan first posted it, I was like, they have to make it. Like, this is such an interesting idea for an analysis, for a breakdown. I would love to see it. I really hope Gilligan does end up making it. I think I haven't checked. Maybe they have. But so interesting. But I think that also was one of the reasons I want to make this video, because I was like, people are asking me, like, make more. It's like, guys, if you have an idea and you have a theory, or not even theory, just a breakdown or a reading, please, if you want to see, like, stuff like this out in the world, you can put it out in the world. You can make it.
But that's the incredible part.
I included this because Ragatha helped Gangle with her pitching skills.
You can do that. You can,
which is a very sweet scene.
Make a video, write a review. You might have something to say and a unique perspective. I don't want this video to be me complaining about too much Digital Circus content, or me wanting people.
Okay, I actually have a bit of a. I love the animation in these episodes, and I think I forgot the animation director for this series. He's a fucking awesome guy. He's a fucking genius. I love him. But this is the only shot I've ever kind of disagreed with a way they animated a character, because I think this is a very emotional scene, and I think Jax is too animated.
Video to be me complaining about.
It's that really bothers me. He's like boom 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 boom. Like, it's too cartoony. Like, this is a very serious scene where Jax is like, you're fucking with our minds or doing something, and I feel like it would be way more impactful if it was like him, if he moved a bit more human. But he's moving more cartoony, and I remember when I first watched it, I'm like, it felt a little the way who are you, Caine? The way Caine reacts, Bubble staring at space. The way Caine reacts is perfect for me, but I would have preferred if he leaned forward with his hands pressed out, or like even pointed towards him, or you've been messing with like something a bit more violent. I think that would have fit the scene a little better.
Too much Digital Circus
content. Wow, it's too cartoony.
Or me wanting people to stop making videos and theories. No, I wish Crave.
Oh, so this is really cute. I could not use this. I was very tempted to cut out the wish crave. Like, I was like, is that me being too sentimental? Someone in my previous video said I talk like ChatGPT, which made me pissed off and really angry. And then I'm like, oh god, do I talk like ChatGPT? Am I really too like over the top, vomiting my heart? Like the way that ChatGPT is like That's really great. It's superior. Like, I was worried. I was really worried I sounded like that.
Desire for people to explore what they can create, take the time and effort to make something worthwhile. And I want people to know that they don't need a university certificate in screenwriting or a job working as an animator to do this. I'm a mid-20s.
I got a comment where someone posted the timestamp for this and said, what did they say? They said like kind of hot or something. They said something like that, and I was like, okay, whoa. I didn't know how to react to that comment. I'm like, okay, thanks. I wasn't sure what the hot or not.
And he's unemployed.
Because I'm like, okay, thank you.
They decided one day that he had thoughts.
Anyway, hell yeah! Look at my Optimus, my Transformers light, and this is Alphonse and a Superman and a Gundam that was already built, and I don't really have an interest in Gundam, but I got that from my brother, and I think it was cool.
Thoughts and opinions about things he loved.
And I haven't read. Sorry, I haven't read chat. Katie, my goat. Hell yeah, Katie rules. You sound like to. It really like ate at me.
As he made more and more videos, he started to look deeper and deeper into what he was engaging with, and it helped him love them even more. That can be you.
This bothers me. I don't think it's centered. I think there's too much space here compared to that. I think if I made this, I should have moved this a little bit to the left. I keep thinking about this every time I watch it.
So next time you watch an episode of The Amazing Digital Circus or engage with any art, stop yourself from jumping to a conclusion. Hold yourself back, sit and take in what you're engaging with, and in all likelihood, you'll leave it with a better understanding of the text and a new view on the world.
Very sincere ending, which I do a lot. I do a lot of sincere endings. Alright, we get
episode 7 of Digital Circus.
We got our members. Thank you, members. What's up? I got special thanks to Lemon, Peach, and Zongo because they helped me with I bombarded Zongo multiple times, asking him to watch over my video over and over and over and over and over. And I'm like, what do you think? What do you think? Should I change anything? Should anything change? Is it complicated? And he was like, no, it's good. I'm like, that's not helpful. Give me some critique. And he's like, no, it's good. I'm like, no, I need to know it's bad. Not even that. I just need to know what I can improve on. Because I'm constantly going, after I make a video, I'm constantly, okay, how can I make the next one better? I'm constantly trying to to up myself every time I make a new video.
After my previous video. And after watching the episode, I was stumped on what I would even write about. It wasn't until I saw people's reaction to it that I realized how
I don't have the game cave set up completely. I mean, I got some really good games here. I got a lot of games here, but you know, I could use some posters. My mother does not like that I put posters up. I've got a little Ace Attorney shrine here to the right. I got some other posters. Some posters keep falling, but I'm working on it.
To say, I really hope this doesn't come across as me dissing on theory videos or brainstorms, because I do adore that stuff. I just wish people took more time and effort into crafting them. One of the factors that made me want to make this video was this theory and reading someone came up with in the TB Discord server for creator TB Sky. I thought it was so fascinating.
Everyone check it. His work is so good. His Digital Circus reaction videos are a big inspiration as well for making these videos. Check out his videos, and also check out his Discord server. His Discord server is pretty sick.
And well thought out that it made me wish we saw more of this kind of thinking come from the fandom. If you've made it this far, make sure to give the video a like to help it out and hype it as well if you want. Last video made it to the top 100 most hyped videos of the week in the US, which is crazy. Partially because I'm Australian, but either way, thank you.
I'm really worried I sound really weird at the end of this.
If you want to support the channel, you can become a member for only $1.
The way I
US.
talk when I'm
with it,
doing video voice versus just fucking talking to people versus streaming is very different.
You can get your name at the end of the videos as well as some custom emojis. Anyway, that's all I have to say.
Had to do the burp. Had to do it. Had to do the burp. I could not do the burp. I could not do the burp. But yeah, I've gotten the most comments I've ever gotten. Oh, too loud. I've got the most comments I've ever gotten from this video. Which, wow. Why does my hair look so flat and gross? Like, it blew me away. Honestly, the ending really resonated with me as a vid maker who'd rather take his time on a vid if he feels like it needs to. Thank you, Dawn. Wait, can we listen to the food theory theme now? I'm not gonna put on the food theory theme. I'm not doing it. I think I listened to it on Twitter a few days ago. It's not, maybe, possibly. I don't know. Maybe. Your credits voice reminded me of Super Eye Patch Wolf. Really? That's interesting. I always feel so fake reading my dealies. I'm trying to get over listening to myself talking. Yeah. As a creator, it's just something you have to like. You have to get through it. It's a big hurdle than people think. It's a bigger hurdle than you think. It's just something I have to get through. But yeah, that's the video. I could maybe read some comments that really stuck out with me. But I think it's getting a little late on my end, and my phone's nearly dead. I love his Dell's PC video. Oh yeah, Eye Patch Wolf. PC super relatable. I think that's all I have to say. Unless you guys have any questions, I'm very happy to answer some questions about video making and stuff. I think that's going to be it for me. What's my next video going to be? I'm not going to promise anything, because anytime I hint or promise to another video, it turns out that I change my mind and work on another video. So what's the next video? Who knows? Episode 8 is around the corner, so it's probably going to be that, realistically. Hopefully it does as well as this video does. Oh my boy. I like it. I like the money. But till then, yeah, that's it for me. Hope you have a great night. Thanks, Sean. Thanks so much. You're the guy. But yeah, I think that's it for me. So I'm just gonna give it a few. Next game you're playing on stream, I need to return to Hollow Knight. I'm going to I think next stream will be Hollow Knight. Again, I promise that. Oh, not doing anything tomorrow. No, I am. I'm doing stuff tomorrow. Not doing anything tomorrow night. We'll see. We'll see. But it's going to be Hollow Knight. I'm going to be returning to Hollow Knight. And I'm going to be doing a night stream, Aussie night stream, because I think I want to move to Aussie night streams, even though like I want to fix my sleep schedule, and I don't think that'll help. It's almost 4 a.m. there. Oh my god, Atlas, get to sleep, please. I'm tempted to do more night streams because sometimes day streams, my viewers are very odd. So I would like to get more Aussies, and I always stream doing an Aussie work day. Lemon, have you been here the whole time? But yeah, I'm not sure because I know Aussies can never watch because I do it in the middle of a work day, which is not ideal. But also for my Americans and other Westerners, it tends to be easier if I do it during the day. So we'll see. I'm not sure. I'll have to think about it. Video making script dealies are stuff I'm super interested in. I've never made a video with me in it ever, dude. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Even if you just want to even if you don't want to make a video essay, I highly recommend even maybe just making like a blog. Like there's my brother started doing articles on Westerner. Damn right. A cowboy hat. My brother started doing like, is it Medium or something, where you can make your own news articles and blog posts. You could even, if you don't want to make videos, if the video part is very intimidating for you, I highly recommend just like make essays. You don't have to make video essays. You could make essays, and even from that, it could be you never know. But yeah, the biggest hurdle for me when it came to making YouTube videos when I first started was actually starting and then starting again. That is the biggest hurdle every time. I think I need to clean my windows. That is always, yeah, definitely clean my windows. That is always the biggest hurdle for me. It is starting and then continuing to go, and you just have to fake self-confidence. You just have to fake it. You just have to keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. Like that. Once you get over that hurdle, then the hardest part is, fuck, what do I make next? That becomes the hardest part. But really the hardest thing is keeping yourself making stuff. But once you make that first one and that second one, the second one's also hard as fuck. And then that third one, you just got to keep the train going. You just got to keep going because it gets easier and easier every time, but it's still hard. It gets easier, but it's still hard. Also, it always helps to find something that you're hyperfixating on specifically, or when it comes to editing, so I don't get bored editing, I try to give myself a challenge or something like the editing like game theory is a fun challenge for this episode. The second episode for this video. So keep yourself engaged while you're editing. Make sure it's a topic that you're interested in or you have a lot to say about, or maybe something you always word vomit about. But yeah, that helps me. It's always, whenever I make a video, it's always something I'm very opinionated on. I don't have the self-confidence to share shit I make with people. I don't know. You just have to fake it. I had no self-confidence in high school and early uni, and I just started faking self-confidence, and it came. It really is just, after you fake it, after a certain amount of time, it stops being fake. Yeah, I've been thinking of doing something, just giving my thoughts and observations about something, but I'm too afraid to plunge into video. Start with text. Just start writing. I love writing. Like, just like I used to write like long Twitter posts and Tumblr like opinions. And I actually, before YouTube, I had a TikTok that was just my name, which you guys can't find anymore. That was just me blurting out my opinions I had. And really, that was pre-YouTube Gruwidge. That's where I started out. It was me, like, just blah, 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 blah. Here's my opinion on this kind of thing. Here's my opinion on this theory. Here's my opinion on this movie or TV show. And it just, yeah, it just bottled from that. I enjoy creating, but it's sharing that I don't like. Yeah, it's very difficult. I'll pass those over on DMs for now. I gotta go to bed. Night, Atlas. Please go to bed. Have a great night. Have a good sleep. Good night. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything. So I'm going to wish you guys a good night for all those in the late night. I tuck you into bed. Give you a big kiss. Go and see Nirvana the band, the show. If you're in Sydney, the Ritz are doing showings at once a day from Thursday to Wednesday. Please watch it. It's incredible. It was the hardest I ever laughed in a movie theater. Yeah. Thanks for the support on the video. Thanks for 50k views. Thanks for 3k subs. Now fuck off.
In your pocket.